Welcome to the new vault, which is much nicer than the old vault, which was my unfinished basement. I decided to get away from console collecting because they were mostly sitting in my basement gathering dust. I mean, I just didn't have time to be playing them all the time. It's a pain in the neck keeping them all connected to a TV at the same time. So I did it. I sold a bunch of them off, and I just kept the ones that I loved the most. Up here on this ugly shelf is my collection of Atari 2600 game consoles, 7800 Sega Genesis systems, and at the very bottom, an Atari Jaguar. The 2600s and the Sega Genesis are my very favorite game consoles, so needless to say, none of them got sold off. And then over here, connected to the TV where my son is watching Cat in the Hat currently, are the game consoles that are actually in use, connected to a television. Obviously my Sega Genesis is on top because it is the best. Going down, there's a spot for an Xbox One when I finally decide to get around to getting one. And of course 360, Xbox, Super NES, N64, and at the very bottom is a TurboGrafx 16. So as you can see, I did keep the most important game consoles and the ones that I typically use the most. I mostly got rid of all the extra PlayStations and the Intellivision and ColecoVision and all those other systems that I just did not have time to play. And I'd rather sell them to somebody else who's got more time than I have and would actually enjoy them. Mostly, however, I spend my time over here. This chair is awesome and it only cost me about 70 bucks at Walmart. Over here, we have a Commodore 64. And I know it looks kind of silly to have all these drives all stacked up here, but I kind of got all this stuff all at once in a big lot, and all of it works. And I haven't decided which pieces I want to keep out, which pieces I want to put away, just because I'm lazy. So they're all just kind of sitting here until I decide what to do with them. This here, obviously, is a CRT. I'm sure you've all seen them before. This is what I connect my retro machines to, which I have connected to a 2-port KVM switch here. Eventually I do have a 4-port, but I don't have cables for it. So as soon as I get the cables, I'll have a 4-port switch to switch amongst all these boxes here. And of course an LCD for my secondary rig, which I use to play more modern games like Crisis or Diablo when my wife or kids are using the main TV where my main gaming box is hooked up. That's obviously a Microsoft Sidewinder, which of course I use for retro gaming on the Pentium 4. Underneath the desk are my works in progress. Over here, actually, this is an IBM PS1. It used to be my DOS gaming box, but then I started building a 486. And the PS1 was taking up way too much room up here. It was sitting here, and these two were actually over here, and everything was kind of jammed up. I couldn't have both keyboards and mice set up at the same time, and it was driving me nuts. So the PS1 is sitting down here, and I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with it. When I decided to build old boxes, I decided that I really wanted to kind of celebrate the 20th anniversary of the Pentium by building a really sweet rig that represented each generation of the Pentium. The Pentium 4 is 100% complete right here. Works awesome. That's what you're looking at right now, running Windows XP. The Pentium 3 originally was a Dell PC that I had, but it started rejecting RAM that I had that I knew was perfectly good RAM, so I got really pissed off at it, and I tore it apart. I gutted it. I'm going to build a Tualatin Pentium 3. I haven't even started that one yet. Complete, however, is my Pentium 1 right here, and I think complete also is the 486 here, and they actually have identical AT cases, which is absolutely amazing. I was surprised I was able to find the same identical case. This is the Pentium 2. It's actually complete except for the fact that it needs a new case. I'm actually going to stick it in a Roswell Ranger M, just like the P4, so that they match. As you can see, my 2-year-old got a hold of a Sharpie one day, and that's what happened here. So yeah, I call this my tech center. This is all pretty sweet. There's 2 conference tables there. I bought those super cheap at Staples. They're like $30 a piece or something like that. They were on sale, so I kind of wedged them together. I wish I'd gotten the slightly bigger ones and spent a little more money, because I didn't realize how much room I had versus how short the tables were going to be. But as you can see, it all worked out pretty good. Again, once you have KVM switches involved, and then you can use less monitors and you can keep more towers underneath the desk. Here's my handy dandy D-Link switch, which I'm going to replace with a gigabit switch at some point, because my NAS is gigabit capable, and you know, why not use it if you have it? So there you go. That's the new vault, the new tech center. Oh, check this out. For when you need to work on, there we go. Have you ever went to reach behind a PC tower and you know, for example, you want to connect something to a sound card and you can't see what the hell that it says on the back of the card? Well, that light back there, I can see everything. So yeah, there's my NAS there. It's actually pretty sweet. It's just a little Western Digital unit I picked up. It's 2 terabytes. Runs 24/7. I've not had an issue with it. 99% of the time I forget it's even down there, and I always have access to my ISOs and files and everything else that I need. So so yeah, that pretty much does it. It's the new vault.